calendar may not say it's fall, but everything happening in our schools sure does. Parents, staff, Walled Lake Schools community, welcome to the 2013-2014 school year. I'm Ken Gutman, Superintendent of Walled Lake Schools. With this first podcast, I'd like to introduce you to some of our exceptional students and share some important Walled Lake Schools updates with you. First, I'd like to remind our Walled Lake School staff that Sam Glenn, the attitude guy, has been asking, is your attitude making the way for your students?
And that's the thing about attitude. It's either in the way or it's making a way, and you determine which every day. Is that the strength of the wolf is in the pack, and the strength of the pack is in the wolf. Love that quote. Every day, life is a gift, and our attitude is the attitude we choose determines where we go, who we become, what we get. The road of life has its twists and turns. There's peaks and valleys. But we got to remember one thing every day. That attitude that we choose is so important.
A positive attitude is extremely important for everyone, and especially those who want to learn. Every day is indeed a gift, and to make that gift count, we have to take positive actions that lead us in the direction of our goals and of our dreams. Before I introduce you to my first guest, I want you to know that his dream really did come true. He did have a little help from the MakeAWish Foundation. Kevin Lee, Geisler Middle School student, who was born with a severe heart condition, never stops living, never stops trying, and never stops dreaming. Hi, Kevin. How are you today?
Hi, I'm good.
Good. Tell us about the wish that came true this summer.
I got to go to Seattle and meet the Seattle Seahawks.
All right. Now, what was the best part of that experience with the Seahawks?
Getting to play football with my favorite player.
And who is Russell Wilson? Pretty good quarterback?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think he could take the Lions to the Super Bowl?
No way.
No. Okay. Who else did you meet when you were with the Seahawks?
I met Marshawn Lynch, Richard Sherman, and all the other players.
Okay.
I met a lot of them.
Now, why are you a Seahawks fan? Living in Detroit, a lot of us are big Lions fans. Why the Seahawks?
Because I actually started watching Russell Wilson in college his senior year when he was at Wisconsin, and they were playing Michigan State. I don't really like them, and he was doing good, so I started to like him.
Okay. Now, you don't like Michigan State?
No.
All right, I'm going to let that go. I'm going to let that go as a proud Spartan. It hurts a little bit. I don't want to lie to you. So you've been a Seahawks fan for a while, just since Russell Wilson got there.
Actually, I've been a Russell Wilson fan since his senior year in college, but I've been a Seahawks fan since the end of the 2010-2011 season.
Okay. How special was that whole Make-A-Wish Foundation? What they did for you, how special was that?
It was very, very special. They made me feel like an actual player, and the team treated me like I was just one of the other players and having fun with me and stuff.
That's awesome. That's really awesome. You know, Kevin, a lot of people out there struggle with things in their lives and have difficulty. What advice would you have for them?
Just keep fighting, really, and don't think in your mind that it's pretty much the end for you. Just keep fighting, and you'll be able to make it through it like I did.
You know something, you have just the best attitude. Kevin, thank you so much for being here today. Next, I'd like to introduce you to Linda Ishbia, an active parent volunteer who is carrying the torch once again for the highly successful Warriors for Warriors event that is now in its third year at Walled Lake Western High School. Hi, Linda. Thank you for taking the time to come in today.
It was my pleasure.
Well, it's our pleasure to have you here. It's such a great event. You know, looking back a few years back, how did this all get started?
Well, it started with our football program here at Walled Lake Western. Coach Zadepski had a vision that our football program had already been involved in community service, and he wanted to take it a step further. And having seen Pink Out events at other schools, primarily out on the other side of the state, Lowell High School has a tremendous event, and Coach Zadepski wanted to bring something of that caliber out to this side of the state, and certainly wanted to bring it here to Walled Lake Western. And we had a few pieces all sort of came together well, and we had an opportunity to actually bring this event to life.
Wow, and clearly so much money gets raised through an event like this. How much has been raised over the past 3 years, and then what are your predictions for this year?
Well, in our first 2 years, we have raised $140,000 for 3 charities, which we're very proud of. This year, our goal is to raise at least an additional $50,000 for this program. We're trying to be conservative because you just never know. But over the years, we'd like to, be beautiful if we could see the $500,000 mark eventually at some point. They'll have a big celebration there.
I think with your energy, your enthusiasm, and all of those involved, I can see that happening. Now, who receives these generous gifts?
Well, our 3 charities are Susan G. Komen, Detroit Race for the Cure, and that was actually our original charity. The very first year, we only donated to Susan G. Komen. And after hearing voices of many in our community, we determined that it would be important to not just raise money for breast cancer, but to widen the scope for additional cancers as well. So in addition to Susan G. Komen, we now raise money for the St. Baldrick's Pediatric Cancer Foundation, which is real close to home, being that we're working with students, so they can really relate well to that. And we also raise money for the American Cancer Society, so that way anyone who wants to get involved and wants to help raise money or donate money, ultimately it falls under the umbrella of cancer research and education.
Outstanding. So if you're sitting at home and you're watching this podcast, what will be the highlight of this event? Why should people attend? Other than, obviously, it's such a great cause to donate. Why should they attend?
Well, sometimes we say it's not just a football game, it's a community coming together to battle cancer. And I think what we have heard from people who've been to this event, whether you sit in the stands and watch, whether you participate, whether you're a jersey honoree, there is such a special feeling when the community comes together to know that we are doing something to help each other. You're stepping out of yourself and helping other people, and knowing that the students are really at the core of what we're doing. It's just great to see our kids outside of the class having an education in giving back to others and really being a part of the community around them.
So I guess the big important question now then is, how can people get a t-shirt and take part in this event?
Oh, well, there are many ways you can get involved. If you'd like a t-shirt, we have 3 different retail locations that are helping us with selling shirts. Styles Salon, which is located at Pontiac Trail in Beck, on the northwest side. Then on the southeast corner is Yo Berry Frozen Yogurt near the Secretary of State. They also are selling t-shirts. And Trico Salon, located inside 12 Oaks Mall, is selling shirts. Also, if you happen to have a student or know anyone who has a student at Walled Lake Western, we will be at Walled Lake Western at lunchtime the week of September 16th to the 20th, every day for all 3 lunches selling t-shirts. Also, I think it would just be helpful for people to know that if you're looking for any information like the information I just provided, our website is www.warriors4warriors, all spelled out, .net. And that's got links for all sorts of information, from where to buy shirts to our charities that we work with, and just a general summary.
Wow, Linda, thank you so much for everything you do for Walled Lake Western and for others. I know we're all very impressed and certainly appreciative of that. I know I have my pink t-shirt, and I look forward to seeing you at the game.
Thank you so much. Our team thanks you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Next, I'm happy to introduce you to a Walled Lake Central High School senior, Aaron Amin, who earned a perfect 36 on his ACT exam. Hi, Aaron. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'm doing great, thank you. I didn't get a 36, though, so you're doing better than I did. After you completed the ACT, did you know you did so well?
No, actually. I gave it my best shot, and it just happened to be that I guess I did pretty well.
I guess you did. So is there some advice you can give people on taking that sort of test?
I practiced a lot. I did lots of practice tests, and I studied for a lot before the test.
How did you study? What materials?
Like Princeton Review books, or even actually English class in school. I felt really prepared for the English section.
Is there a particular English teacher you want to give a shout out to who helped prepare you?
I would like to give a shout out to Miss Brady, AP Lang at Central.
Oh, she's an outstanding teacher, and it's nice that you recognize her that way. Although I understand you're interested in medicine and business.
Yes.
Not English. So can you tell us what science and business classes you may have enjoyed at Central?
Well, in the science department, I have taken chemistry and physics honors in AP, and this year I'm taking AP Bio. So those are really interesting for me, and I enjoy those a lot. And as far as business goes, this year I'm taking my first business-related class, AP Econ.
How's it going so far?
It's going pretty well. You know, I'm only 3 days in, but
So far you still have an A then? Good,
yeah.
good, excellent. So do you see yourself studying medicine or business in college? Or
Yeah.
something else?
I think I see myself studying one of those two. Between the two, I'm not quite sure, but we'll see what
Okay.
happens.
Now, knowing that you had a perfect score on your ACT, obviously you're the type of student who will be considering Michigan State. But what other universities will you be thinking about attending?
You know, I'm going to be applying to U of M and several schools on the East and West Coast, as well as in the Midwest.
If you could
So-
pick your dream university that would accept you, what would it be?
You know, I haven't given that much thought, actually. But I do love the University of Michigan, actually. So,
Okay, all right, there's a theme on this show. I want you to know that.
Is there?
It's not going my way. It's not a green theme. So to talk a little bit about activities in high school. What have you been involved in?
you know, I have a lot of fun on the tennis team and ski team.
Okay.
And as far as like clubs and stuff like that, I'm in NHS right now, and so that's a really exciting and rewarding experience. And I'm actually really excited about our Quiz Bowl team that we started at the end of last year, and we're continuing into this year. So we're going to be competing in some competitions locally.
All right, well, good luck with those.
Thank you.
What have you liked best about your experiences in Walled Lake schools?
You know, I really enjoy the people that I've met here, and you know, before I came to Walled Lake, I was at a private school, and just the variety of people that I've been able to meet and interact with has really amazed me, and you know, I really enjoyed that aspect of my high school career.
Do you feel that Central and Walled Lake schools have prepared you for the next step?
Very well, actually. I feel very well prepared for the next step, and hopefully it goes well. You know?
Well, I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will. Now, before we conclude, and I certainly want to thank you for being here today and taking time out of school, can you give everyone, just to kind of represent Central, a little Go Vikings for Mr. Morgan and
Yeah.
everyone else?
Yeah. Go Vikings.
All right. Thank you, Aaron. Congratulations again. Wish you nothing but success in the future.
Thank you.
You're welcome. As you know, Walled Lake Schools is seeking a $67.5 million safety, security, and technology bond in the upcoming November 5th election. This bond is the third phase of a three-phase safety and security plan the district initiated last year. Phase 1 of the plan began in December of 2012 with the district locking all of the school doors during school hours and hiring door monitors to ensure those entering buildings are identified. Phase 2 of the plan included installing entrance intercom systems in all schools with sinking fund proceeds. Phase 2 was completed this past summer. And Phase 3 of the plan is the 2013 Safety, Security, and Technology Bond. The 2013 Safety, Security, and Technology Bond includes comprehensive video surveillance systems, entrance and office modifications in all of our schools, keyless entry throughout the district, upgraded fire alarms and mass notification systems, emergency backup generators and emergency lighting upgrades, emergency responder signage, replacement of the district phone system and master clock systems, essential technology upgrades in all of the schools and classrooms to ensure equitable facilities that the entire community can enjoy, and buses. Even though the district has hired Dean Transportation to manage our bus services, the district will continue to own all of our buses and the transportation facility. The district will continue to purchase the fuel from a regional consortium for all of our transportation needs, and the district transportation supervisor is overseeing the new partnership. Classroom technology is a critical piece of this bond. Today I have with me Mr. Mark Hess, the Executive Director of Instruction, Technology, and Assessment. Mark's going to tell us about the potential upgrades that come with technology should this bond be successful. Mark, can you tell me what classroom instructional technology opportunities are being addressed through the bond issue?
Thank you, Mr. Gutman. Well, this is exciting. In terms of classroom instructional technologies being addressed through the bond, first and foremost, this will allow us to standardize the instructional technology resources in all of our classrooms. First and foremost, and the paramount to this project would be ceiling-mounted interactive digital projectors in all classrooms. This would allow teachers to stream digital content through an interactive projector which could be shown on any surface. You may be familiar with interactive whiteboards, Prometheum, smartboards. Now, with today's technology, the interactivity is within the projector. So a ceiling-mounted interactive digital projector could be shown on any surface. For example, a first grade teacher may wish to show or display an image, a graphic, or a video on a table, an interactive table, and it could be any surface. This would allow the students sitting around the table to manipulate the image, the data, the graph, or interact with the video in real time. So that's exciting. The other component about the potential instructional technology resources in the classroom through the bond would be standardized audio. A surround sound audio in all of our classroom, ceiling-mounted speakers to allow for the digital content, whether it's videos, whether it's interactive projectors of streaming content through websites, to be audible in the entire classroom. No more dealing with individual laptop speakers, cords, buttons, and dials. It's an integrated audio system connected to the interactive digital projector.
Mark, you talked a little bit about this digital projector, and so let's take it from a parent perspective. If my child were in a classroom where this existed, what's different compared to what we have now in the Walled Lake schools?
Okay, that's a good question. So think of what a digital interactive projector will allow is reciprocal learning, interactivity with the digital content. For example, in most classrooms today, and what we're familiar with is, for example, television, broadcast analog television, whereas a student sits in the classroom and receives the information that's being broadcast through the television. With an interactive video projector, that information now can be reciprocal in learning, interactive. You interact with the digital content and not just sit and receive it through broadcast media.
Sounds a little bit constructivist, which is a really good thing, isn't it?
It sure is.
Talk a little bit about why it's important to be standardizing. Why would we standardize our classroom technology across the district?
Two key components come to mind when we talk about standardization of technology. One is service and efficiency. We can provide, in the technology department, far more efficient service if we have standardized equipment. Currently, we have over 30 different models of document cameras and projectors in all of our classrooms, and that has served us well up until this point. It makes it very difficult for the technology support team to service and provide efficient and effective service to those type of devices when it's so vast and the variety of them so vast. So this will allow standardization of equipment. It will allow for improved service and for staff and professional development. So we can hold professional development sessions and talk about how an interactive document camera and an interactive projector with digital content can be best served in a classroom to help augment instruction.
This sounds outstanding. Mark, thank you so much for your leadership and, as always, for your enthusiasm.
Thank you.
There will be bond presentations at each of our schools and throughout the community. There's information about the bond on our district website, wlcsd.org. If you have a question about the bond, please email us at info@wlcsd.org as well. Please register to vote by October 7th to participate in the November 5th election. To register, you may also get information from our district website. There are so many great things happening in our schools. Please stay up to date using the Walled Lake Schools mobile app, the district website, Facebook, Twitter, and by reading the information you receive from your school. As always, I thank you for allowing us the privilege, and it really is a privilege, to serve every child every day.